Alright, so Mika has been one of the most underappreciated 4-stars in the community. But whether you look at him as a healer or a damage booster, he's still incredibly viable in a lot of aspects. Now disclaimer, this video is not to legitimately label him as a 5-star, despite the title of this video, but rather to compare him to pre-existing 5-stars that people have given a pass to for years now, because he shows some similarities. So I've heard a few reviews here and there discussing his utility and his healing, but for whatever reason, in these reviews, people are going way too far in his DPS aspect. Obviously, when we look at mine, you're probably like, ew, 10% crit rate, 95% crit damage, low base attack. But if you can't tell, typically when someone has a burst that has healing, you know, the word healing written on it, and perhaps gives an attack speed bonus, and gives a damage bonus, seems to me that this fits the role of a support, not a damage dealer. With this, it's literally important to remember that in literally any other game besides Genshin, a support player should be played intended as support. It is not typical to play a support character under DPS roles. If I have Eula on my account, if I have Razor on my account, among other physical damage dealers, and I want to buff physical, why would I make Mika do the work when there's someone who already does that? He's meant to provide utility to other characters. He's not meant to be the DPS. Point is, let's just not confuse him with the DPS. He's meant to enhance DPS on your team. I don't know about you, but a level 1 talent, 13% attack speed bonus, I'm down. Attack speed is literally viable with any team. Anytime you throw attack speed into any combat, you're chilling. It's the best. It feels great. It gets the job done quicker. I mean, for a long time now, maybe it's not your cup of tea, maybe you hate attack speed bonus and are so against it, but I would love an Archon that just gives you like fat attack speed. It's so fun when you revisit some floors of Abyss and there's like chances for attack speed. I mean, it's just so much fun. And so it's so nice to just have a character that all you have to do is just throw out a skill and you have attack speed. Editor's note, yes, Jean is in the party, but as it turns out, I'm running with a level 1 Mika talent, which means I'm at a 13 attack speed bonus. However, if I were to crown this, I would have a 25% attack speed bonus. Jean is here because she provides a 15% attack speed. So yes, the total does come to 28%, and this was just to showcase what a maxed out Mika talent can look like. So we just have to mentally shave off 3% here. And to help compare this 3% difference, to show standalones of Mika's being at 13% and Jean's being at 15%. This is Eula's attack normally. This is Eula with Mika's 13 attack speed bonus. And this is Eula with Jean's 15 attack speed bonus. So hopefully you can tell visually, if you can, the 2% difference here, just on a smaller scale, just because I don't currently have the materials to crown him at the moment, and low-key have plans to just go from 1 to 10 in a day. That's what I'd love to do. It's just gonna be so good. Something else Mika has, his physical damage bonus. Now I understand the one downside to this is when it hits more than one opponent, each additional opponent hit will grant a stack. And I understand that this is a downside and you're not gonna get the most amount of physical damage out of this. However, because of this downside, we can't put this under a category of useless. Otherwise we have to put things like Shao C6 under useless because you need more than one enemy present. Both of these skills, Shao C6 and this physical damage bonus, means stuff like this can run so good in Abyss. Abyss very often, more often than not, has more than one enemy on the field, so he's perfect to bring into Abyss. Just because you can't use it against world bosses, there should be downsides. The guy's a 4-star. He can't be completely viable in every aspect of the game and cover every corner. And to final it off, he's got tons of healing. He does so much healing. I don't understand what else we want from a 4-star. Mika has 0 healing bonus in this trial and is not running any healing bonus artifacts, so you can only imagine if you had a healer build what this could mean for your team. To me, he almost outdoes the role of Chi-Chi because he has such a similar requirement to, you know, giving some healing to your team, which is attacking the enemy. Chi-Chi applies a talisman onto the mob, and when you attack, you're gonna be healed. However, Mika doesn't even require that talisman to be applied to these characters. And also, when firing off Mika's burst, does he heal your team more than Chi-Chi ever does initially for herself?
真名，渡恶真君。还突破口！
But also, Mika just has a feather that follows you, so no matter what enemies you're hitting, problem is with Chi-Chi, when you're applying talismans and let's say those mobs die, you lose that healing, you lose that extra healing. This thing is just gonna follow you till its duration is over. And you only have a 3-second cooldown and you can do it again. And conveniently enough, a lot of people are running him with energy recharge. I, for example, am running Favonius Lance. I have some energy recharge on him. His burst is also not the most energy cost in the game. He's a 4-star and has so much support capability outside of just healing. We have plenty of 4-star healers, and he takes that healing aspect, he added in attack speed, he added in a physical damage buff, but him having 3 elements of support is so unheard of for a 4-star. Mika has this all at C0. But now that we've bared the important fact in mind, Mika is a 4-star. And to circle back to the point of this video, I claim Mika is 5-star worthy. This is why. Let's take a closer look at somebody like Jean. Jean has incredible healing, incredible crowd control, but as we know, Jean gets even better with constellations. I mean, they're crazy. For example, C2 gives an attack speed bonus. People rave for this. I mean, it's so nice. It feels so good. I love attack speed. And then we have C4 that's giving an elemental resistance. But do you see where I'm going with this? Mika is almost comparable to Jean at C4, but he's C0. Mika at C0 can heal, give attack speed, and resistance to mobs at C0, and he's a 4-star, meaning this is extremely attainable for many people. Now, if you're looking at Jean's C4 and, you know, me comparing it to like Mika's physical resistance and wondering why this can even be compared to begin with, what characters are you typically buffing with this C4? Is it Xiao? Skarmouche? A DPS Kazuha? These are all 5-stars. Obviously there's people like Hazo for DPS and Sucrose if you somehow went that route, but generally a lot of Animo DPS are 5-star. However, a majority of physical DPS in the game include Kaya, Shinyan, Urbedo, Razor, all being 4-stars, but incredibly good at doing physical damage. Now, obviously, there's a lot of physical DPS, such as Eula, who seems to have been intended to go with Mika, but if we look at earlier game players, people who are obviously not AR60, a majority of characters, a lot can be run physical. If you miraculously were to get Mika on a starting account, boom, you can buff your Amber. Boom, you can buff your Kaya. You can buff your Noelle, etc. Now, yes, I've explained beginner/starter characters and generally how they can run physical, but typically a lot of characters only run fully elemental when they're catalyst or require specialized attacks such as Ganyu. But perhaps later on when you're pulling for higher rarity characters such as Zhongli and wanting to run him DPS, boom, you can use Mika for this, among other characters in the game. Do you know how many people can deal physical damage and run physical outside of 4-star? We have Keqing, we have Raiden if you wanted to use her DPS. I mean, if they're not a catalyst, they can deal physical damage. Now, not of course every character works best with being run physical, obviously, but so many characters are able to deal physical damage, so this just can't possibly make a physical supporting character useless. Now, at the time of this video, Mika runs as a really good physical support, because right now, and also prior to his release, to have physical buffs, we have to run stuff such as Superconduct to decrease physical resistance. We have to have things as specific as Rosaria C6, or something as niche as Shenhe's Burst, also giving a physical resistance. I mean, there's been so many limited options, so it's nice to have a 4-star that also provides other things to go in here. Now, later on, it's totally possible for a 5-star physical buffing character that can come out, but in this moment, this is still a good character, regardless if a 5-star replaced him. I mean, he's still so good. He's still an addition to the team. If we compare this to like more recent events, Kale was like highly used for Dendro application, and of course people pulled Nahida because she has better Dendro application, but do we call Kale bad because somebody outdid her? No, she's still really good. Bring him in Abyss, bring him in the open world, just have fun, alright? Alright. They tell me that I'm never